My dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, you know what's wild. The loudest message you'll ever send isn't in a long, emotional text. It's not in slamming doors or begging to be seen. It's in your silence. When you emotionally detach, not out of bitterness but out of self-respect, something shifts. You stop reacting to his inconsistency. You stop explaining your worth. And in that pause, that quiet space where you once overextended yourself, he begins to notice. Because here's the truth, when you're always available, always explaining, always there, you become background noise, but the moment you pull back with grace, not spite, that silence becomes deafening. It makes him pause. It makes him think. He starts to feel the absence of your presence, not because you yelled or chased, but because you took your power and walked quietly with it. That kind of detachment, it hits different. It's easy to confuse detachment with coldness, but they're not the same. Detachment, when it comes from self, love is actually deeply warm. It just doesn't beg anymore. It doesn't plead for attention. It doesn't need validation. It watches, it observes, it chooses. When you detach emotionally, you stop performing for his approval. You stop making his inconsistency mean something about your value. And suddenly, the dynamic flips. Because now he's the one left wondering, why isn't she reacting? Why is she so calm? That calmness, that peace, it unsettles him more than any fight ever could. You're no longer feeding the drama. You're no longer an emotional mirror for his games. You've risen above them, and that rise creates distance, the kind of distance that makes your absence feel incredibly loud in his life. And the most beautiful thing, that emotional detachment isn't about punishing him, it's about choosing you. It's about showing up for yourself in a way you used to show up for him. It's about realizing that if he didn't see your value when you were all in, your absence might be the only thing that makes him feel what he lost. Because detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care too much about your own peace to let it be disrupted by someone who doesn't know how to love you right. That kind of shift, it's powerful. It's soft but firm. It's not cruel, it's clarity. And men, they feel that deeply, not in the moment, not while you're still explaining, but in the quiet aftermath, when your energy is gone, when your attention is no longer a guarantee. That's when the missing begins, not when you're trying to make him miss you, but when you've finally stopped trying altogether. You know what's truly magnetic? A woman who wakes up and chooses herself every single day. Not out of ego, but out of deep self-respect. She doesn't need anyone to validate her glow because it comes from within. She builds her joy from her passions, her routines, her growth, and without saying a word, people, especially men, notice. That kind of self-fulfillment, it's not loud,